Whisper in the yard and turn the trees all into toys. Lay there on the ground and turn the dirt into your joy. Before you start to drift and your soul begins to scream, I just wanted to tell you that you're listening to a dream.
Pace's Playground. Pace's Playground Podcast. Pace's Playground Podcast.
First off, I've got to go with the kiss-ass part of the interview because I've got to thank you for your music, sir. I've been a fan of Korn since 1999, and I know you got a mail from your fans saying that if it wasn't for your music, they would have killed themselves. And I might have been one of those guys, man.
You know what? Me too, honestly. I thank you very much for the compliment, first of all. And then, I don't know, Jonathan and I, we often say what we might be doing if it wasn't for this band as well. It's not only the fans that I think has found some sort of salvation in the music or, an escape. It's been us too. It's our drug,
Because I remember I was brokenhearted. I was 17 or 19 at the time, and I was just depressed, sitting on my couch like a big human potato and flipping through the channels. And then my eyes caught the Freak on a Leash video, and that was the very first Korn song I've ever heard. And when you hit the bridge, the very low, hard, intense bridge, then I realized that being sad sucked and that I should be rather angry and use that anger towards something, towards building something. And since that very day, I've been a hardcore fan of all things new metal, especially Korn. And I've always wanted to thank you in person for that opportunity to discover first your music and then the emotional implication of what music could be.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's a nice compliment, man. It's flattering, that not only yourself, but many people have think about Korn this way. And I think a lot of, we have meet and greets every day where we meet fans, and I think a lot of them, I think they get a little nervous. I know, like I do when I meet one of my favorite musicians or whatever, or other people in the bands, even out here in the Mayhem tour that we're doing. And you think about what you want to say to them and how much their music, and you don't want to geek out on them, I guess. You don't want to sort of, you just want to kind of have a normal conversation with them, but at the same time,
you're like impressed, and you're having a hard time being just yourself in front of those people that you admire in a way. I've got at home both videos from Korn, Who Then Now, and Deuce, and it is very interesting.
Funny stuff, man. That's some funny shit, dude.
And it is.
It's just us basically making, I think, our first two albums, us having a good time and just being young and without, much care.
It's just funny and interesting to compare the people you are, the guy you are in the first video, and then the guy you are in the second video, and then the guy you are now, part of Korn III, I guess, but you yourself jumping around with your Grammy medals around your neck, just being happy because you sold, I don't know, I think Life is Peachy went platinum at that time. And you guys looked so naive in a way. This must have changed since that day. So where do you stand now as a person in that industry?
I think, we have families, at this point we all have children. We all kind of have to have a really delicate balance of, obviously we work really hard. That's all we know how to do. We just kind of get up in the morning, put our pants on, and go to play music. And we do it because we love it,
Mm-hmm.
It's, the house isn't going to make you happy. It's not another car. It's about creating the music and getting to see the reaction, I think, on the fans' faces when you go to the different cities and play for them. That's where we get our enjoyment. I think but there's a fine balance between work and home now. It was just about the band, and that was it. And I think now that we're older, we kind of understand what's important to us. Obviously, the band is, but obviously our families are too. Reserve some energy and some time for ourselves and our families.
I remember you saying on the Deuce DVD that because you had sold so many albums from the first one and the second one, that your bank accounts first got bigger and so did your dick. So I was wondering, with all the sales from the following albums, has your dick got any bigger?
Not really. I'd like to think so, but I think that was probably an ego-based statement there.
What was the experience working with Russ Robinson on Korn III after so many years?
So it was one of those. It's a relationship where no time has passed. It's just we picked up right where we left off. Basically, we have the same methods, the same way we recorded on 2-inch tape. It was, we have sort of these kind of little, let me think, sessions before each song, each time we record, and then it's just Ross kind of gets into your head and try to find out, where the song, what it makes you feel, and where it's coming from, and he doesn't want you to think about it too much. He wants you to just kind of play it from your heart and just trying to know what you're doing enough to get through the song, which is captures that raw emotion and kind of captures the moment and the energy on the tape.
And I remember him again on the video. I think the first one saying naively on camera that if there's something about Korn, they're themselves, and he's saying like that way. Is he still that kind of guy?
He hasn't changed a bit. I mean, he's pretty incredible. He's one of the most spiritual people I've ever met, and that resonates right through his music. He's able to pull out raw emotion out of people like I've never seen anybody do before. That's his gift.
I remember you saying that having Head on the band was somewhat your creative muse, because you would feed on his energy and then just add something more, and then that would build up the guitar part of Korn, which, to my sense, to my knowledge, is the very base of the sound, very low, 7-string guitar. Now that for some years he's gone, how did you modify your approach to music writing, and was it difficult at first to be that intense in your music?
I think I had to develop a sense of melody, because that's what he really shined on the melodic side of the band, and I was more of like the rhythm player. So I had to kind of develop my sense of melodies and really kind of split my brain into two, like say left and right speaker. I kind of like record the rhythms kind of left and right, and then split up the melodies or the sounds so that it has a nice rounded sound. But it definitely made me become a better player and a better songwriter. So it definitely step things up for me. It was a little difficult in the beginning. You know what? If he's going to leave, then I have to step up, and it's time for me to show people and really prove to myself that I can do this. I got it. I got this.
Is your background as a rhythm guitar player and your forced role into a lead guitar player after the leave of Head may explain the change of tempo into Korn's music from the Untouchable album, so forth and so on?
I think I'm just trying new things, and still, it's just music is an endless possibilities with the 12 notes.
Okay. There seemed to be a movement within the Korn fan base, whereas a split occurred between quote-unquote old Korn and quote-unquote new Korn, and that wedge happens between Issues and Untouchables. How would you explain the change of sound?
I think, I think fans have to understand that through the years, it's, you don't want to, as an artist or a songwriter, you can't just keep writing the same songs. You have to grow and develop and experiment with different melodies, different producers, different song structures, even experimenting with different instruments. It all sort of stimulates the creative flow in songwriting, and I think it's just the evolution of Korn. I think people need to understand that. Fans try to understand you have to keep things interesting for yourself. You don't want to just keep writing using the same formula. You want to kind of step out of the box and try something different, because you're stuck with these songs once they're recorded. You have telling Ray on the new record, dude, Raven turned to Philly and was like, "Do you like that drum beat?" And Philly would say, "Dude, you're the one that has to play it for the next 10 years, so make sure you like it."
What would be the future of Korn? Is there a musical turnaround that could be looked upon for a future album? Say we're going to go back to the old Korn sound. What's the future that you foresee for the band?
I try not to look too far into the future. All I know is that we have a lot of touring to do between now and when we make the next record. But I wouldn't rule out a reunion. That's, stranger things have happened in this world. So you never know what happens.
It's been an honor and a pleasure talking to you, man. I've been waiting for this opportunity for the last 11 years.
Wow, cool, man. I'm glad we had a few minutes to talk, and thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate that.
I've always fueled on your energy on stage. And, one very last question. You say on the Deuce DVD that whatever you don't like within yourself, that's the guy you are on stage. Has that changed at all? Do you like yourself a little more on stage now?
Yeah, I'm a little more comfortable up there now, and I think, I think there's a different me. It's sort of like, I still sort of go and try to, feel it and be in the moment and sort of, it's my time to listen to the music and play the music really and forget about, whatever's going on in my head.
Well, thank you again for your patience, and it's been an honor talking to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks for following us, and thank you to the fans for following us and caring about the band for this long. It's pretty rare that the band even lasts this long, and it's because of people like you and fans that still give a shit. Hey, what's up? This is Munky from Korn, and you're listening to Pace's Playground.
Pace's Playground Podcast. Find it, hear it on SoundCloud and iTunes. Comment, react, or troll via Twitter at PlaygroundPod. Facebook.com/PlaygroundPodcast. Email playgroundpodcast@hotmail.com.
PlaygroundPodcast.com.